Man, when I said the information drought was over, I meant it. We only just got the brand new trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus recently, and already we have new gameplay footage and details to go over. This is mostly footage that confirms a lot of speculation, so feel free to stay till the end to see if all the things you wanted are in. With that being said, let's dive in because this is all very exciting. The new footage and details comes from Centro Leaks, whom I usually don't cover because, well, you know me. I don't cover leaks unless they're confirmed to be true or accurate. This time around though, everything is backed by actual photos and video, so there's no denying the accuracy. First, let's look at the new battle footage, where Akari is using my personal choice of starter, Oshawott. Here we see the duo fighting a defenseless Bidoof, and there are several things to take away here. One is that this is a big ol' Oshawott. Now that varying size scaling for Pokemon is confirmed, you best bet I'll be resetting my game to get the smallest possible Oshawott. Okay, but in all seriousness though, what we can really take away here are a few things about the battles. We see Oshawott doesn't use his signature animation for tackle, which is a nice touch because that would mean some more thought has been poured into what animation plays for what moves. It would be awkward if Oshawott tackled the Bidoof by slicing him with a razor shell. If that's not proof enough of thoughtful animations, take a look at Bidoof as it gets hit by two different attacks we see Oshawott use. Did you see it? That's right! There were two different animations for Bidoof taking damage, one of which had him rolling uncontrollably backwards before running back into place. It also seems that roll animation plays when Bidoof gets knocked further back, as the amount of steps it takes for him to get back to place is more after that animation. I love how lively this makes the Pokemon feel. Before, when taking damage in Game Freak games, Pokemon would just slide back a bit, if at all, and then just slide back into place again without moving their limbs. It was awkward and ugly, whereas this is dynamic and intriguing. Next is how the Bidoof faints. It looks like it shrinks down to nothing, which is how it's always been, but I hope they do something a bit more dynamic than this for the release of the game. Maybe at the very least zoom the camera in to the Bidoof, similarly to how the camera zooms into wild Pokemon when they growl to mark starts of battles. On the bright side, we can see Aqua Jet in action, as Oshawott either turns into or gets completely obscured by the jet of water as it speeds to impact the Bidoof. How fun! There's also a detail that was noticeable in the latest Pokemon Presents, but I didn't realize it until now. The player's stance changes depending on which menu you're in. That's neat. Something that has me slightly worried is how static the camera is. I really do hope we can move the camera while in battle, because this stiffness makes it seem a little less eventful than I expected. I do think we'll have camera control. After all, the very first trailer for Legends showed the camera spinning as the characters battle wild Pokemon, and Game Freak has always had swooping camera movements in their 3D games during battle. There isn't much else to say about this fight, other than Oshawott is the best boy, and the field the two are fighting in is gorgeous. Look at the pretty flowers! Alright, next is a scene that actually takes place in what I believe to be the Korean version of the Pokemon Presents. Here we see Luxray attacking Lucario with a Wild Charge, but unlike the English and Japanese versions, we see that Ray got a little too close this time, and took a hit as well. Super cool detail we'll get to be seeing, meaning we might need to be mindful of how close we send our Pokemon out for battles. It's unclear though if the player actually takes damage though, as we don't see the borders on the screen change like we were supposed to. It could also just be that this is edited footage that cuts the borders out. Who knows? Either way, I can't wait to see both my Pokemon and me get obliterated by massive attacks. Next, the Centro Leaks confirmed that our item storage will be limited, so we'll have to be mindful of what we take when we set out for expeditions. The rest of our items will be kept in storage. I assume this photo proves their point by these icons and numbers here. This is pretty similar to how we'll only be able to take 6 Pokemon on our journeys at a time too, and the rest will be stored in some way, shape, or form at the camps. Mystery Dungeon players will be no strangers to this, as this is very similar to how you have to ready yourself for expeditions in those games. We also get to see a new item, Smokescreen. It reduces our visibility from wild Pokemon, which will be very useful for sneaking around when you're low on health, or surprising a difficult to catch Pokemon. I don't speak Spanish, but whatever these items say here, That's what we can craft smoke screens with. Now let's talk about my favorite part, where Central Leaks confirmed we can, indeed, take our Pokemon out of their balls at any time to interact with them. And, of course, as previously cited in the presents, we can take out our entire team at once too if we want. This is the feature I'm most excited for, and this alone warrants the $60 price tag for me. Anyone else? Okay, there's so many other things that warrant it too. Anyways, here are some of the photos up close. Look at how happy Oshawott looks! Rowlet's adorable as always too. But Cyndaquil has something going on here. Oh yeah, his flames are gone! Perhaps we'll only be seeing his flames during battles. Maybe when we're playing with him in the overworld, some animations will bring the flames back out. He also has his flames when we first meet him at the Galaxy building. It could be because he is not yet tamed, and therefore keeps them out as a defense mechanism. I also wonder if we do happen to see Cyndaquil in the wild in Legends, if they'll have their flames out too for intimidation purposes. We can't possibly know quite yet. I hope it remains dynamic, but that they're always sprouted out from his back during battles. Either way, my team will be the freest team you've ever seen, because they're going to be outside their balls a lot. Now for some confirmation on a few more things. A press release has stated that battles with other players will not be a thing. We kinda figured this, but it's nice to finally just be able to rule this out. That being said, we can see that up to 2 players can play Pokemon Legends at once. I'm excited to see what kind of co-op opportunities the game will set up for us. Have fun speculating that down in the comments. Also, development on Pokemon Legends Arceus is finished, with the file size capping at 13 GB upon release. I wonder why they're wrapping it up so soon. After all, the game is still 6 months away, and titles typically don't go platinum until 3 months before release. I hope this isn't actually the case, because some footage does show things that could use a bit of work, such as this leaked shot of the player chasing after a Starly that flies away. Notice how when Ray stops running, how she slides down the slope a bit. Sloppy! There's also no transitional animation for her when she goes from running to walking, and I'm very picky about that sort of thing. It's not a deal breaker of course, but it is kind of ugly. I hope they use their remaining 3 months of development time to smooth things out before going platinum in November. Either way, don't forget to subscribe for more analyses in the future on all things Pokemon Legends, and leave a thumbs up for good measure. I'm just one guy, and making these videos is a lot of work, so all your support really means a lot. I'll catch you all in the next video. Later!